So after gel electrophoresis, many fragments are formed. So these fragments can separate. The process is called elution. So in these fragments, once a desired fragment is there, so that is transferred to PCR cycle. PCR means polymerase chain reaction. So after polymerase chain reaction, we will get many copies of the desired gene. So many copies are formed. So this is the desired gene copies. So that is nothing but DNA. Now this is the desired DNA or desired gene inserted into the vector. Once the desired gene is inserted into the vector, then that is called recombinant DNA. That is called recombinant DNA. So the desired gene plus vector is called recombinant DNA. So what is the meaning of vector? So the vectors are clearly, these are the carriers which carries the gene from one organism to another organism. So they are carrying the gene from one organism to another organism, and they are called vectors. These vectors are different types. So the first one, look at there, PBR322. It is the first artificial plasmid. So prepared by Bolivar and Rodriguez. This is PBR322. Clearly, I explained this PBR322, how to remember the PBR322. You can watch my video. Already I prepared it. Okay, anyway, now this is the PBR322. It is the one artificial plasmid. Another one, PUC, Plasmid University of California. Plasmid University of California. Then another plasmid, look at there, TI plasmid, especially which is inducing the tumor. That TI plasmid, widely used vector extracted from the Agrobacterium tumefaciens. Another one is RI plasmid, that is the root inducing plasmid that is extracted from the Agrobacterium rhizogenis. And YAC and BAC, here yeast artificial chromosome and bacterial artificial chromosome. These two plasmids, artificial plasmids, are widely using in human genome project. Not only that one, even some bacteriophages are also used as vector. That one is a lambda phase, M13 bacteriophage. And another one also retrovirus. These retrovirus generally inducing the cancer in animal cells. So they are also using as a vector. So these are the vectors and special characters of the vectors. Look at here, very, very important. When you take any vector, that should containing ORI site, origin of replication. And not only that one, that is the first point, and that should contain a protein of replication, ROP should contain. And that vector should contain here markers, selectable markers. Here the markers are maybe two types. For example, look at here, when you take in PBR322, this is ampicillin and tetracycline. So these are the markers. These markers are antibiotic resistance genes. Whereas when you go to PUC, it is the gene, that is the gene containing, that gene is responsible for the synthesis of enzyme. What is that one? Beta galactosidase enzyme. So beta galactosidase enzyme is formed by the Z gene. So here, what is the marker? LAC-ZG is the marker. Whereas here the markers ampicillin and tetracycline, that is the antibiotic resistance genes. Whereas here LAC-Z gene, which is involved in the synthesis of enzyme beta galactosidase. Okay, anyway, these are the vectors. Now these vectors also very, very important. These vectors are mainly, these vectors are also should cut by the same restriction endonuclease enzyme. Also should cut by the restriction endonuclease enzyme. Restriction endonuclease enzyme. But very, very important point, for isolation of gene for vector, isolation of gene for vector, we should use the same restriction endonuclease enzyme. Suppose already we used, what is that one? Escherichia coli R1. Escherichia coli R1 recognizing the GA sites and cuts between the G and A. So that is why this is the DNA fragment. This is the foreign DNA. This is the desired DNA fragment. So here this desired DNA fragment is containing palindromic sequence AATTCG. Yes, here G. So AATTC. So C. It means TTAA. This is the palindromic sequence. This is the foreign DNA. Now this vector also should cut by the same restriction endonuclease enzyme. So that is why eco RI here also recognizing the GAA sites and cuts between the G and A. So when it cuts, that circular DNA becomes a linear DNA like this. How look at it here? So here you look at here G, it means it containing A, T, C. Here G. So it containing A, T, C. So now this is the vector. Insertion of gene into the suitable vector. Insertion of gene into the suitable vector. Now this gene can easily insert it into the vector because which containing the palindromic sequence. Which containing the palindromic sequence. So the nucleotide sequence of this strand, is complementary. So that is where that foreign gene or foreign DNA can easily insert it into the vector due to the presence of palindromic sequence. Very, very important point. So now this is the foreign DNA. So foreign DNA. This is the foreign DNA. So here A, T, T, like that here T, T, A. So here hydrogen bonds establishment takes place. Here hydrogen bonds establishment takes place. Like that a recombinant DNA is formed. So wherever hydrogen bonds are forming, so these hydrogen bonds are formed by the ligase enzyme. And especially important point here, especially restriction endonuclease enzyme mainly cuts phosphodiester bonds. So now this is the vector, now this is the vector and this is the foreign DNA. So finally a recombinant DNA is formed. So this is the foreign DNA, this is the vector, recombinant DNA is formed. So look at here. This is the recombinant DNA. Now this recombinant DNA inserted into the host cell. That process is called transformation. After transformation, that host cell is called transformed. This step is insertion of recombinant DNA into the host cells. So already recombinant DNA formed. Now the recombinant DNA is inserting into the host cells. So when the recombinant DNA inserted into the host cell, that the host cell is called as transformed cell. Okay. So when we are inserting the recombinant DNA into the host cell is not allowing the recombinant DNA. It is not competent. Now the bacterial cell, artificially, we are converting into competent. How it is possible? Now when the bacterial cell is treated with the divalent cation, then the bacterial cell is competent to recombinant DNA, which allows the recombinant DNA. That is one method. Another method is shock treatment. So the bacterial cell with the recombinant DNA is placing on ice immediately to high temperature, 42 degrees centigrade. Immediately to ice. So slowly the recombinant DNA entered into the bacterial cell. Shock treatment. So after that shock treatment, next what is that one? Micro injection method. For example, if it is animal cell, there is a micro injection. So directly the recombinant DNA is inserting into the nucleus of animal cell. That is one method. Next, another one, gene gun or biolistic mechanism. It means you are bombarding the recombinant DNA with gold so they can insert it into the plant cell. That is possible only in the plant cell. If the plant cell is a host. Like that, the final method, what is that one? Disarmed pathogen vectors using. So using of disarmed pathogen vectors. So these are the methods for conversion of competency. So finally, these are the transformed cells. The transformed cells, how we can recognize. Suppose the bacterial cell is having, this is the bacterial cell. The bacterial cell is having vector, this is the vector, recombinant DNA. And this is the chromosome. This is their own chromosome. Now this bacterial cell undergo replication. It means recombinant DNA is also undergoing replication, mainly desired gene. So the recombinant DNA undergo replication along with the bacterial cell. It is clear. Okay. Suppose the foreign gene is inserted in this region by disturbing the tetracycline antibiotic. It means this tetracycline the gene is disturbed by foreign gene. It means that recombinant DNA containing only ampicillin antibiotic resistance. It means these bacterial cells are culturing in ampicillin medium. So these bacterial cells are having recombinant DNA with ampicillin antibiotic resistance gene. So that is why these transformed cells can survive. If other bacterial cells are there, those bacterial cells cannot survive. Okay. Like that, if ampicillin is disturbed, tetracycline is there. Suppose the bacterial cell is having this recombinant DNA growing on ampicillin medium, that transformed cell cannot survive because there is no ampicillin antibiotic resistance gene. So if they containing the tetracycline antibiotic resistant gene, they can survive in tetracycline medium. Whereas which containing ampicillin antibiotic resistant gene, which can survive in ampicillin medium. So this is important. So that is why these are the selectable markers. There is another mechanism. For example, this is a PUC, Plasmid University of California. Two types of selectable markers. Here, antibiotic resistance gene selectable markers. Another one is enzyme related selectable markers. For example, here the LAGZ gene, which is responsible for the synthesis of beta galactosidase enzyme. Suppose if there is beta galactosidase enzyme, when these bacterial cells are treated with chromogenic substance, when it is treated with chromogenic substance which turns into blue color, suppose the LAG gene is disturbed by the foreign DNA. It means this is the vector with the DNA, that is the recombinant DNA. This is disturbed here. So it means that LAGZ is disturbed. If there is no LAGZ, there is no beta galactosidase enzyme. It means when they are treated with chromogenic substance, that bacterial cells, that bacterial culture may not turn into blue color because LAGZ gene is disturbed. So like that we can identify the transformed cells with the selectable markers. This mechanism is called insertional inactivation. The next step, obtaining the foreign gene product. What is the main aim of the recombinant DNA technology? Extraction of recombinant protein or production of insulin hormone. So insulin, now we are extracting the insulin hormone through recombinant DNA technology only. So that is why all the bacterial cells are transferred to fresh medium. Why we are transferring to fresh medium? Then only in the fresh medium the bacterial cells can grow, multiplies their number. So that is called log phase or exponential phase. But what is the main logic of the recombinant DNA technology? Production of useful products at the industrial level. So we require 1000 liters of proteins, 1000 liters of hormones, 1000 liters of useful products. So the bacterial cells should culture in what is that one? Stirred bioreactors or sparked bioreactors. Bioreactors, what is the bioreactors? These are the culturing vessels These bioreactors can maintain proper pH, proper temperature, proper salt, vitamin, proper oxygen. So, for example, you take the stirred, there is a rotation. So, look at here, this stirred bioreactor get the base, curved base is present. And you look at the center rod containing with blades. These blades can rotate. So, when the blades can rotate, all the substances can move around the bioreactor. So that is why when foam is formed, the upper surface blade is present. Those upper blades also can remove that foam. And look at the sparked bioreactors. These sparked bioreactors, the bubbles can increase the oxygen percentage. So that is why with the proper culture mechanism, the bacterial cells can grow. So the products can be extracted through bioreactors. Finally, when the product form, that is called downstreaming process. So in the downstreaming process, we have to separate that protein. Then there is a purification process is present. After purification, there is a clinical trial. For example, it is drug. Clinical trials are there. After that, finally, quality control. After quality control only, that the product can release into the market. So this is recombinant technology, recombinant DNA technology. So thank you to all.